Stuff Crafts. So glad you could join me for another Inspiration Friday. If this is the first time you stop by my channel, thanks so much for stopping by. Make sure you click on the subscribe button down below and click on the bell, and YouTube should alert you each time I upload a new video. It's all about inspiration here on Inspiration Friday, and my whole goal is to inspire you to create or to try new things. This week, we are definitely trying something new. So I've been doing a lot of sewing. If you look back on some of my past Inspiration Fridays, it's all been about sewing, and it's been a lot of fun. But I thought it was time to try something new. So for my birthday, my husband got me a heat press. Now I have had the Easy Press from Cricut, and I absolutely love it. But this gives me so much more ability to do bigger transfers. So as I was thinking about what I wanted to do, one of the other things I wanted to do is I really wanted to take advantage of doing more. I love the infusible ink. It was a game changer, and I've got a post, I think it was last fall or last spring, that I posted saying, hey, infusible ink is definitely a game changer. But what I found is it limited me a little bit on what I could put on my coasters or what I could put on shirts based on what the infusible ink was. So I started doing some investigation, and I discovered Sublimation. And what that gives me the ability to do is basically put whatever picture I want on my coasters, on cups, on shirts. It is just so much fun. So this week, what we're going to be doing is we're going to stay with the coasters theme, and we're going to do coasters. This is a picture of some flowers that I took. My husband and I decided to go out for a drive and just take a bunch of pictures. And I just fell in love with these yellow flowers. So I wanted to make up a set of coasters. So this is what we're going to walk through today on how I made this using my printer. Now, I will tell you, if you want to get into this, there are a few things you need, just like any time you get into a new type of craft. The biggest one is you've got to have the right ink, okay? Now, I had an Epson Workforce 7720 already. That's what I was using. And instead of buying a new printer, I decided I was going to convert the ink. So I went out to YouTube, my best place I do my research, and I found a great tutorial, and I'll link it down below, of how someone had converted their printer. Bought the ink off of Amazon, converted my printer, and I'll tell you guys, this ink lasts so long. Nothing like your normal ink does when you're printing just, normal type stuff. So I've got a whole blog post that I put together that is going to give you what it takes to get into it, some of the basics. I've also got in that blog post some links to where I got my supplies. And I'll tell you guys, I'm so excited for the next couple weeks, because we are going to dedicate the next couple Inspiration Fridays to different types of projects you can do with Sublimation. So can't wait to show it to you guys. Give me a minute. I'm going to get my camera angle changed. I will tell you, I'm going to start with showing you how I did the design for the coasters, and I am using Cricut's Design Space. There are other options out there of things you can use, but I'm just going to show you how I did it in Design Space, and then we're going to hop over to the heat press, and I'll show you how it's all done. So can't wait to show you. Hope you like this. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Give me a second to get my camera angle changed, and I will join you in Design Space.
Okay, crafters, so the first thing I like to start out with is a design. Now, I am using Cricut's Design Space, but you can use any software that you want to use. The one thing I like about Cricut's Design Space for coasters is I'm able to customize the size. So, for instance, I have got coasters that we are going to be making today that are 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So what I like to do is I like to put in a shape that is the size of the coaster. Okay, so I have just added in a square. Now, if you've got a circle coaster, you could do a circle. I happen to have a square coaster. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in just so I've got a good measurement as to what I am actually, the size of the coaster that I'm actually working with. Then what I want to do is I want to put in my design. So what I'm going to do, you guys, is I have uploaded a picture that I just absolutely love, and I just love my flowers. And so I had went out and taken some pictures of some flowers in my backyard actually. And so this is just a flower that I absolutely love. So I'm going to go ahead and input that into my design. And then what I like to do is take off the lock, and I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger, right? I'm going to put it over the top of my design or my shape, and I'm going to use the slice feature. Okay, so what happens now is I have just sliced out a picture of what I want my coaster to be. Okay, now if you guys were using Photoshop or Preview, Word, whatever you guys might want to do, the idea is you want to make your design just a little bit bigger than what your coaster is. So my coaster is actually 4¼ by 4¼ I'm going to increase that size to just literally 4.3. It's just a hair bigger, but it gives a little bit of bleed for the coaster. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use this as my design for my coaster. I'm going to go ahead and click over to make it. Now, I could have added words if I wanted to do words to this. And if had I done that, let's just go ahead and back up really quick because I want to show you guys. Had I wanted to add some text to it to say, I don't know, welcome, right? Just as an idea, I could have put that up on my coaster. And we've talked about this before with Cricut. Anytime you do something like that, you want to flatten it when you're going to do the print then cut. Okay, so what I would have done is I would have grabbed my images, I would have come down here to flatten, and I would have flattened it. Then when I went to make it, the word welcome would be there. Okay, so I don't necessarily want the word welcome on my coaster, so I'm going to unflatten it. I'm going to delete that, and I'm just going to have that flower because I just absolutely love that yellow flower. Now, one of the limitations by using this program is the size that I can do. I can only make 2 coasters per print. And that is one of the limitations. I absolutely love using Cricut's design space to be able to do my coasters. But if I'm doing any other type of larger design, I do not use Cricut's design space. But for this one, I want to show you guys how you can use Cricut's design space. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and print 2 because I want to take advantage of my paper space. And I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. Now, what we don't need to do is we're not going to cut this with the Cricut. All we want to do is send it to the printer. Okay. Now, I have got my printer, which is my Epson 7720. I take off the bleed and I use the dialog from my actual printer. So you'll see by taking off the bleed and clicking on the use system dialog, I'll hit print, and then it brings up the options from my printer. Now, when I have done a I can't even say that word, sublimation, I have already set up pre-settings, and I'm going to go ahead and put links down below for you how to set up those settings. But one of the key things is it is already set up all of my layout, the quality of print I want to use, the ink match that I want to use. And so it's already done for me. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is hit print, and it is going to go over and print it at my printer. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to join you next as we put the design on our coaster and we put it in the heat press. So give me just a second and we will get my camera angle changed.
So I just took the design that we did in Design Space off of my printer, And for those of you that have done the print then cut before, you guys will recognize that border line that's around it. So what we're gonna do now is I actually want to cut out my coaster designs. And so as you guys can see, this is gonna make 2 coasters. I am using a sub paper, and I will definitely put links down below to everything I've been using today. I will tell you, I have been experimenting with laser jet paper, and laser jet has to be laser jet, can't be copy paper, but laser jet can actually withstand the heat of a heat press. So that is definitely another option for you. So I'm gonna put the one design off to the side, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna prep this for the heat press. So I picked up these coasters from Heat Press Nation, and I will put a link below. For every coaster you get, they also give you a cork backing, which is really nice. So we'll use that afterwards. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna lay my coaster face down, and I want to remember how we talked about making that design just a little bit bigger. If you guys can see that there, I've got this, I gotta move this over just a little bit. You just want to have your design a little bit bigger than your coaster. Okay, that makes sure everything gets printed on your coaster. And then I'm using the heat tape from Cricut. You can definitely buy other heat tape online, but as you guys all know, I started out with infusible ink, so I have lots of Cricut supplies on hand. So this tape works out really good. I did stop by Walmart and just bought a tape dispenser. I found that it was so much easier to use. Okay, so now we've got our coaster all ready to go. This is a lot like what we did with infusible ink. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm hoping I can get my camera angle changed a little bit. See if I can do this. There we go, there's my heat press. So with my heat press, every thing that you put sublimation into takes a different heat temperature. I've determined that what works for this setting is 400 degrees for 360 seconds. Might be different with your heat press, especially if you're using an easy press. But what I start with is my heat press came with a heat pad. So I start with a heat pad, and then I've got just a piece of parchment paper. And I'll show you guys, I just went to the store and I picked up these pieces of parchment paper because they're already cut. So I do that to protect it, just like we did with the infusible ink, you guys. You want to make sure that you're protecting your pads, okay? I'm going to put the design face up, okay? So my coaster is down and my design is face up, okay? Then I'm going to put another piece of parchment paper to protect it. Now I have also found, I've got this silicone pad that I used to use for cooking, and I have found whenever you've got something that's breakable, this helps give it cushion. And then I like to put a Teflon pad on top, or a Teflon sheet. Now you could do another piece of parchment paper. This is just what I found that works for me. So I'm gonna go ahead. Now I will caution you guys, for coasters, you definitely want light pressure because these will break. So my heat press has got a light pressure or a pressure setting right here, so I've got this loosened up very lightly. I'm gonna go ahead and put my press down, and I'm gonna set it to go for 360 seconds. So I will join you guys back as soon as that timer's done, and we are going to end up with a coaster that is as beautiful as this one, but we'll reveal it together. Okay, so my timer just went off. And one of the things that you definitely want to have on hand when you're working with your heat press is heat-proof gloves. Now mine came with my heat press, which was really nice. And then you guys, a couple weeks ago, I showed you guys how to make these cute hot pads, and I have found this is great to have. I got it on top of my mat here, and I'm gonna take out our coaster. Now these sheets are really, really warm, okay? So I just kind of open up my drawer right underneath and I just take them out because they are like super hot. Okay, I'm gonna take our coaster out, swing my press back around, and let's come down so you guys can see what our coaster is going to look like. So you can peel the tape off that way, or sometimes I just rip. And oh my gosh, you guys, look how beautiful these are. Is that just an absolute beautiful coaster? Okay, now this one's super hot, so I'm going to set it off to the side, you guys. And I want to show you what I have done with the other ones. So these are the other ones I had already made. Get my paper out of the way here. And remember how I told you that each one of the coasters comes with a cork back. So a nice way to finish off your coaster is just to put that right there. So look at these. Once this other one dries, I'll have a set of 4 really pretty coasters. And the sandstone on these I just love because it really helps absorb the water. These can be washed. You can wipe them down very easily. One other thing I just want to show you guys really quick. This is another example, and I'm going to be doing this one next week as a tutorial, but look how gorgeous that is. This is a ceramic tile. I've put a cork back on it, and I've made it into a trivet. So most of you guys know I live in the Pacific Northwest. This happens to be a picture down on the coast. And so just think about all the presents and the gifts you could make going on a trip and a way to save one of those special spots. So I'm going to show you next week how we can make these. But this week, it was all about the coasters that I fell in love with the infusible ink. But Sublimation gives me the opportunity to do so much more, and there was no weeding whatsoever. So I do have a blog post that goes through everything you need to get into sublimation, but I just can't wait to show you all the different things that you can use it with. So stay tuned for the next couple weeks, because that's what Inspiration Friday is going to be all about. So here's just some other examples of things that I've been doing with sublimation. Thanks so much for joining me for another Inspiration Friday. I hope you liked this intro project into sublimation and making coasters. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell and YouTube will alert you each time I upload a new video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I love to hear from you. And also, don't forget to check out my blog at Fun Stuff Crafts for other DIY projects.